Welcome back, everybody. My name is Angelica Torres. I'm a developer advocate here at Retool, and today I'll walk you through the best ways to prompt an app using the Assist tab. For context, Retool can generate a full-stack app from a prompt using your live data from Salesforce, Databricks, Postgres, and many more. So let's get started. When you open up Retool IDE, if you go to the bottom left corner, you will see a new tab called the Assist tab. Here, you can leverage a conversation interface where you can tell it exactly what you want to build and have Retool instantly generated. The great thing is that you still have access to 100 plus components. So you can drag and drop exactly what you want your draft to look like. And instead, if you decide to prompt, then Retool can build on top of that work, which is amazing. So you can still edit or create queries in SQL, JavaScript, and even Python. So your workflow can be met exactly based on your needs and preferences. When it comes to prompting in Retool, I would think of these 6 main categories. First, you have generate, meaning that you will create something from scratch via a prompt, spreadsheet, image, or PDF. These type of prompts allow you to get comprehensive functionalities like components, query, code, and event handler. It would also give you the scripted naming convention to all generated components. So an example of this would be build a support ticket tracker. Next up, you have edit, meaning that you will modify an existing app or component using a prompt. Something like this could be add a department filter. Number 3 would be debugging. So this is anything that is troubleshooting an issue inside your Retool app via a prompt. An example here would be the query is broken. Style. Style adjusts the appearance of components or your app. An example here would be the app theme, which can be automatically created and applied, or even down to how every single component individually looks. An example here would be simplify the interface. Number 5, understand, which means answering any clarifying questions about your app. So the AI knows so much about Retool that it is great at answering any sort of questions about like the purpose or even down to how things work. So a great example here would be, what happens if I click this? And lastly, you have guides, which offers general advice or best practices. So again, because the AI knows too much, then it's able to actually give you step-by-step about how to implement something if you rather do it yourself. Or it might actually provide useful links to documentation or the community forum. So something here would be, how do I validate this forum? Here are some general best practices when prompting. First up, you have bind data via the add resources. When developing queries in an app via prompts, use the @ symbol in order to reference specific resources. So an example of this can be create a read query using Retool database. That's where you use the @ and the delivery app table. Okay? However, sometimes we might want to work on something more quickly because it's just a prototype, or you kind of just want to focus on the UI or UX capabilities. For that, we can use mock data. And the reason why is because real data can be so interconnected and complex, which can take longer to generate. So for this case, you just have to tell it to use mock data. An example of this can be create an inventory dashboard with mock data. Please do not use existing data in Retool. Comprehensive application definition. Structure prompts to demonstrate complete functionality, not isolated components. It makes it easier to have a success metric and what the requirements are. An example, using @HR database, employee table with columns, employee ID, full name, department, start date, manager ID, onboarding status. Create an employee onboarding dashboard. If you want more details about this, I'll recommend that you actually check out my video on the perfect prompt formula. Number 3 would be demonstrate data integration. So show to the AI how multiple data sources are supposed to be connected and the relationships between them. So an example of this would be connect @IT asset database. So the asset ID, asset type, serial number, assigned to employee ID, warranty, with @employee directory to build an asset management system featuring searchable inventory with filters for asset type, assignment status, and warranty status. Number 4 is known themes. So if you have a well-known company name, for example, let's say Coca-Cola, then it could apply the company colors to the theme. Number 5 would be targeted changes for an existing app. In this case, the Assist tab excels at making specific small edits to existing apps, especially when the specific element is referenced with the at symbol. So an example of this would be in at table, bold text for expenses over $500. Number 6 would be identify components via label. Assist works best when you provide labels or clear names for existing components. So an example here would be hide the ID column in customer table. When developing an app, use threads in order to capture the work streams specifically and name them appropriately. Be specific and small with the changes. So keep the edits or the debug prompts small in scope so changes can be versioned very easily. An example of this would be change the submit order button color to dark blue. Number 9, use releases to capture state. So as we progress, I would recommend that you actually use the create releases in order to capture successfully what the updates have been. Last one would be identifying scope. So be specific about whether queries or variables are supposed to be globally scoped or page scope. So an example of this would be create a query scope to the home page. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Now, I want to invite you to actually start exploring the space and just trying something fun. Don't start overthinking it too much because you might try to make something smart and then just never end up making anything. So make something that you want to make something fun, and share with the community forum. So thank you, and I'll see you next time.